Hello everyone and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. One of the great lies, or self-delusions, take your pick, of the modernist, heretical, liberal, stupid, progressive, anti-church crowd has been, well, even though many Catholics leave the church in their early years, they come back when they get married and have kids. Like everything else that issues forth from the camp of dissenters, this canard is being exposed for what it is as well. A load of rubbish. Every time progressives in the church, clergy as well as laity, open their mouths, you'd think everything was wonderful. Until, of course, the actual proof comes rolling in terms of real numbers that actually reveal the extent of the destruction of their idiotic theologies. Rhode Island, for example, has witnessed hold on to your wedding rings here, a 71% drop in Catholic weddings in the past 40 years. 71%. That compares to a drop of just 17% for marriages overall in the state in the same time period. That is church-sponsored suicide, and it comes to you straight from the delusional crowd of liberal heretics and their feel-good preaching of save the earth, social justice, applaud in mass, nice, non-judgmental catechism which totally ignores reality. Hello, McFly! You're killing yourselves and taking loads of souls with you. This is just one more example of the result of decades of watering down the faith, failing to preach it in the way it needs to be preached, which is truthfully. Here's a challenge to all those modernist Catholic leaders out there, and this includes bishops and priests at whose feet the majority of blame for this disaster lies. Name me just one area in the life of the church that has benefited from your absurdity. You can pick any area you like. We'll give you a few examples. Take the liturgy. Oops, might want to avoid that one. 75% of Catholics don't go anymore. Well, there's always the shining example of Catholic education. Oops, again. Lots of closings going on of schools and the like, and nearly a 75% reduction in enrollment since the Church of Liberal took charge. And as far as higher institutions of learning, well, that's just another area you might want to not bring up. So let's see, what else could we go to? Well, you could always put forth as an example of how well your bastardized Catholicism has done over all of these years, for example, in the sacramental life. Confession might make a nice case study for you. Drats, foiled again. Less than a quarter of people actually go, which of course means 75% don't. Well, belief in the real presence is booming. Wait, I read that wrong. 70% of the people do not believe in the real presence. Marriage, well, that's another arena you might want to not get into. In Rhode Island, as we already examined, we've seen a 71% plummet in Catholic marriages since your Looney Tunes theology took the lead. But not to worry, we always have the area of vocations to look at. Oh, wait, nothing to crow about there either. A 75% or greater drop in priestly vocations has happened in the past 40 plus years. How about women religious? Well, try again. When they aren't casting spells and teaching Tai Chi classes or being investigated by the Vatican, they're growing very old, very fast, and watching their numbers shrivel up by about, you guessed it, 75% in the last 40 years. That shrinking by 75% theme seems to be kind of a recurring, consistent marker, don't you think? So there you have it, dissident crowd. From the sacraments to the liturgy to education to vocations, to name any area you want, the result of your theological insanity is a shrinking, shriveling, aging church that is 75% smaller than it was when you took control. And when we actually look at the future, just exactly what do you think is going to be left after your wrecking ball has stopped swinging? With specific regard to weddings, the pathetic failure to teach the truth has encouraged a mind-numbing number of Catholic brides to simply walk away from church weddings. Heck, you might as well suggest that the wedding musicians play There Goes the Bride all dressed in black in celebration of all you've accomplished. 75%, remember that number. That's the damage you have done to the faith. A church that is 75% less faithful than when you took charge. By the way, this is a clarion call to the 25% who are still somewhat faithful. It's up to you and me now to clean up their mess, to give them a nice funeral and go about repairing their decades' worth of damage. Thanks, progressives. Thanks, liberal Catholics. At least those of us left standing know what needs to be done. Any cleric who'd like to help, we're all here, willing and able, just as soon as we all finish our Lenten obligation of giving up incandescent light bulbs and plastic bags, like all the church liberals want us to do. But as soon as Lent's over, hey, we're here for you. God love you. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.